So probably gusting up to around 80, 85. It's tough to stand up.
Although I've had experience inside a hurricane, I still look to the experts for the foundation of my forecast. So we hopped a plane to the heart of hurricane country, Miami, Florida, to lift the curtain on the wizards of weather.
Our number one mission is to save lives.
This nondescript cement building may not look like much on the outside, but on the inside it's essential to hurricane forecasting.
Dr. Michael Brennan is the branch chief of the Hurricane Specialist Unit at the National Hurricane Center. His team analyzes a tremendous amount of data before putting out a forecast. But even with all that technology, it still comes down to the experience and expertise of a meteorologist.
Now, a lot of people are surprised that there's actually still a human being here actually clicking on and making the forecast.
Nearly 40% of Americans live on the East Coast and are vulnerable to impacts from storms each year. And you may have seen the hurricane forecast cones, which are issued from this command center in South Florida.
Because there's a lot of care that goes into making that forecast.
Predictions are formulated using satellite data, computer models, and even eyes in the sky.
The aircraft is still one of the most valuable pieces of equipment we have because it can fly right into the storm.
There's no other means of getting data like this in a hurricane or a storm out in the middle of the water without us, aircraft reconnaissance.
What the National Hurricane Center strives for is a weather-ready nation where they can help residents here in Miami Beach prepare for the next Hurricane Andrew. Or help residents here in Milford, Connecticut prepare for a destructive storm like Sandy.
You live in a place where you get other hazards. You get coastal flooding from nor'easters, you have blizzards and winter storms, and that kind of emergency preparedness mindset can be useful for all of those hazards.
Real hazards and near misses can lead to forecast fatigue, which is why meteorologists have had to add a new type of science to their repertoire, something called social science.
So social science is focused on how people use and understand information, how they might interpret a graphic, or what do the words mean to people, and then how does that translate into behavior.
And with so many people on social media, it's not so much about getting the word out, it's about getting the correct word out.
The trick is helping people sort through the noise. You know, people are out there posting all sorts of information about the storm, modeled forecasts, their own personal forecast.
The human impact of storms is something every forecaster is aware of when they send out that advisory.
I don't think I'll ever forget the day Michael made landfall as a Category 5 in the Florida Panhandle. And just watching that, and because you know what's gonna happen. You know that in situations like that, people are gonna lose their lives.
So from Hurricane Gloria to Bob, Irene, Sandy, and whatever the next one is, the National Hurricane Center will be monitoring the skies. And it's up to us to prepare for what nature can throw our way. And coming up later this week, we'll have a look at how sea level rise is affecting Miami and what one Connecticut community is doing to fight nature with nature. I'm Dan Amaranti, Fox 61 News.